group. And you all know Rick Gabrielly, and I don't really have to give him a formal introduction, but I do want to say that I'd like you to help me welcome um, Rick. He is a serial entrepreneur and whose track record of building successful ventures is as impressive as his commitment to our community. So, without further ado, Rick, the mic is yours. It's the Rick Gabrielli Show.
Thank you, Coach. And I appreciate all of you for coming today. This is the most special thing is to give your time. And as you're going to hear in a few minutes, that is really the only thing we have. So you're giving me your most precious gift by giving me your time today. So thank you. And thank you, Coach Glow, for honoring me and having me give this talk today. So this is a talk on winning at work, building a career that doesn't cost you your health. And I'm usually a little lighter with my focus in these type of things, but today I want to really anchor something. So her name was Denise Kettenacker, but we all called her Dee Dee. Dee Dee was my friend, beloved coworker, and office manager for 31 years. She was a beautiful soul inside and out, and she gave everything she had, not just to the work, but to the people around her. Sadly, 2 months after I retired, last October 2025, Dee Dee passed away after battling cancer on December 29th, 2025. I was crushed. When I stood with her family and friends as they grieved, that was a turning point for me. I saw how abrupt life can be and how fragile our time really is. And Dee Dee talked about someday, like so many of us do. Someday I'll take that trip. Someday I'll slow down. Someday I'll rest. But for her, someday never came. I tell this story not to make anyone sad, but so at least one person in this room will finally do that thing that they've been putting off. They'll book that trip, call that friend, forgive someone or themselves. Because most of us aren't living life, we're deferring it. We're holding it in escrow, waiting for a future that may never arrive. So my talk today is dedicated to Dee Dee, my newest guardian angel. Dr. Lucia Ferrer from Madrid spent 15 years treating people who claimed they had no trauma. They functioned, smiled, worked. Yet they all described the same emptiness. I don't feel joy even when things go well. She discovered one common behavior: constant emotional postponement. These adults all said the same phrase: I'll rest when it's over. But nothing ever ends. Projects, goals, deadlines only multiply. The brain adapts to waiting for safety and stops releasing dopamine in the present. Eventually, success brings no pleasure, only relief. Ferrer called it deferred living syndrome. It's not depression or burnout. It's the learned belief that peace must be earned. People train their nervous systems to expect meaning only after achievement. Over time, that waiting becomes their only identity. MRI scans confirmed those who suppress micro moments of joy show the same neural fatigue as patients with chronic anxiety. The body learns constant readiness. Muscles tense, breath shortens, mind loops around unfinished tasks. It's trauma without a story, born from repetition, not crisis. Dr. Ferrer said childhood pain ends when someone listens. Adult pain never ends because we keep postponing the moment to listen to ourselves. The real trauma isn't what happened. It's the habit of postponing life until everything feels deserved, and by then you no longer know how to feel at all. This is something you probably don't want to hear. Most of us are living our lives on layaway. We're paying into life, but we're not really using it yet. We say things like, when this project is over, when business slows down, when I retire, then I'll live. But here's the truth. Later is the most dangerous word in the English language because later keeps getting rescheduled. And one day, later becomes never. I know this because I lived it. For years, my identity was wrapped up in work, schedules, pressure, deadlines, expectations. Let me be vulnerable. Let me be vulnerable with you here. It wasn't until I retired in October 2025 that I realized how much noise had been blocking my wisdom. When the grind stopped, I could finally hear myself think. Why this matters. We talk about wellness a lot these days, but let's be honest. Most workplace wellness is just stress with a smiley face on it. Yoga at lunch, meditation apps, mental health days. Nice ideas, but they don't fix the problem. Because the problem isn't that people are weak. The problem is that people are overloaded. Most of us are living in what psychologists call survival mode. Always alert, always rushing, always reacting. Your nervous system was never designed for that. It was designed for rhythm, work, rest, recover, and repeat. Not work, worry, collapse, and repeat. My friend Christina Dufour is a workplace wellness expert who helps teams build resilience and business performance grounded in nervous system science. And she talks about this as capacity. It's not about handling stress better. It's about building the ability to meet life without breaking. And nobody teaches us that. We're taught how to hustle, not how to heal. The real danger. Here's the warning. Burnout doesn't come from working hard. Burnout comes from never turning off. No recovery, no boundaries, no breathing room. And here's the scary part. Most of us don't even notice it happening. We normalize exhaustion. We brag about being busy. We wear burnout like a badge until our health taps us on the shoulder and says, hey, we need to talk. And by then, the price is high. Relationships, energy, joy, sometimes life itself. And no job is worth that. No title is worth that. And no paycheck is worth that. I want to take a brief moment now to check in with all of you. I know that was a lot and it was pretty intense. Thank you for staying with me. Let's do a quick check-in. On a scale of 1 to 10, how tired are you really? Type that in the chat. 1 is a little bit tired, 10 is very tired. And then a reflection. What's one boundary you've been afraid to set? Type that in the chat. And then in terms of a commitment, what's one small change you'll make this week? I'll give you all a chance to type that or make a note next to yourself. All right, I see some numbers. Thank you for those.
Can you repeat the questions again, Rick, or put them in the chat, please?
Sure, Frankie. All right, so
Thanks.
first one is on a scale of 1 to 10, how tired are you really? 1 being a little tired, 10 being very tired. Reflection. What's one boundary you've been afraid to set? And then the commitment. What's one small change you'll make this week? All right, I see some good answers. Thank you. So type them in the chat or you can make a note for yourself. Obviously, we want to be vulnerable here and put this stuff out. That's how we get the learning. Thank you. Good stuff. Thank you, people. All right, while you're doing that, I'm going to keep going. So 3 keys to winning without losing. Now for the good news. You're not powerless. You have more control than you think. Let me give you 3 keys. Key number 1, and you don't have to write this because I'll be happy to send you all the notes. Train your capacity, not just your schedule. Most people manage time. Few people manage energy. We pack our calendars, but we never ask, do I have the capacity for this? Recently, I read a great book, Switching on Your Brain by Dr. Carolyn Leaf. Highly recommend it. But she talks about the power of the 10-second pause. 10 seconds before responding, before reacting, before spiraling. That pause resets your brain. It shifts you from survival to choice. 10 seconds could change your entire nervous system response when someone triggers you, when something triggers you, a comment, a text, a thought. Your brain wants to react immediately. This is me pretty much in every Master Networks meeting, so just saying, I'm going to be vulnerable, right? Your amygdala fires, stress hormones flood you, and you respond from survival mode. But here's the breakthrough. A 10-second pause reconnects you to the wise, unlimited, non-conscious part of your mind, which activates healthy brain waves in your prefrontal cortex. When this happens, rational thinking, emotional regulation, and informed choice kicks in 10 seconds. You shift from reactive to responsive. Here's how you feel triggered. Pause, take one deep breath, and count to 10. Ask, is this from now or an old pattern? That pause creates a cognitive space, and that's the gap between awareness and intention. In that gap, you can choose differently. 10 seconds, that's all it takes. So here's your practice. Before your next stressful moment, pause, breathe, and ask. What's the wisest response right now? Not the fastest, not the loudest, the wisest. That's leadership. I'm blessed to work alongside my partners, Peter Fellows and Frank Vandenhorst, for almost 5 years now, every Thursday, and they're both shining examples of this kind of wisdom. Peter and Frank regularly practice resetting their nervous system, and they make me better personally and professionally. You wouldn't train for a marathon by stretching 10 minutes a day. Why do the same with your capacity to handle stress? So ask yourself, am I training for resilience or just coping? Key number 2, this is my favorite. Redesigning your boundaries. You set the price of access. When I heard this, I was like, I am this quote. Here's the truth most of us never learn. You are allowed to change what it costs to access you. And, as I look around this room, a lot of you are experts in this anyway, so you love this too. You're allowed to change what it costs to access you. Your time, your energy, your attention. When we blur our boundaries, answering emails at midnight or me 3 or 4 in the morning, taking calls on weekends, I'm on 24/7, all these businesses, never saying no, we teach the world our time is free. We need to stop treating boundaries like luxuries. Boundaries are how we protect the biology that makes good work possible. When you redefine what access costs, not as selfishness, but as survival, you create space for sustainable contribution. Who here wants to be sustainably contributing? Raise your hand, right? That's how leaders create cultures that don't quietly drain nervous systems. Again, that's how leaders create cultures that don't quietly drain people's nervous systems. Key number 3, live now, not someday. This one is personal. Don't let deferred living syndrome be your legacy. Don't postpone happiness. I'll be happy when, fill in the blank. But life isn't a rehearsal. This is it. One 81-year-old gentleman I recently spoke with said it best. He didn't regret working hard. He regretted not being present, not laughing more, not resting more, not loving more. So here's your permission slip. Enjoy your life now. Celebrate small wins. Have lunch with friends. Take real vacations. Protect weekends. Notice beauty. Don't wait for retirement to start living. Practice now. That the workplace that cultivates connection, meaning, and safety isn't a luxury. It's part of what keeps people's energy alive. Now for your renaissance. Retirement isn't an ending. It's a renaissance, a rebirth, a chance to use wisdom instead of willpower, experience instead of exhaustion, purpose instead of pressure. And the way you work now determines how you'll live then. If you burn yourself out today, you carry that into tomorrow. If you care for yourself today, you arrive strong. So now another moment to just pause and do a little reflection. What is one thing that you will stop postponing today? Please put that in the chat. What is one thing you will stop postponing today? Put that in the chat. Thank you. All right, I'm going to keep going while you guys finish putting those things in the chat. So, my invitation to you, let me leave you with this. Winning at work is not about doing more, it's about becoming more aware, more grounded, more alive. So, remember, train your capacity. That's key number one. Two, protect your boundaries. Decide what access costs to you. And three, live now. If you do that, you won't just retire someday, you'll arrive healthy, whole, and ready. And that is real success. I'm going to leave you with a quote, my favorite quote. Many of you have heard this. When I was young, I did everything and accomplished nothing. In the middle of my life, I did less and accomplished more, all with the hopes that someday I would do nothing and accomplish everything. Thank you.
Rick, that was absolutely amazing. I mean, forget about mic drop. I mean, I just want to jump into that box and give you a big hug and squeeze you. I know Carol wouldn't mind. I'll hug
My
her
biggest
too.
fan, you.
That was amazing. You made such great points though, Rick. And I wanted to share something with you, if I might, just
Sure.
dovetail on something
Yeah.
that you shared. We hear a lot of people talk about pause. And I only learned 2 days ago that pause is an acronym. It stands for perhaps another unseen scenario exists.
Wow.
And that when I hear pause, when you said that, I said, wow, and it's not the first time I've heard it, but when you shared about responding and not reacting, those 10 seconds are heaven. They can really change your life in so many different ways. I mean, I loved everything that you said. I would love to hear from others who are here who may have any questions for
Yeah.
you, Rick, or add.
Sure.
I know certainly, with your permission, if that's okay,
Yeah, of course.
I'd like to open it up
Yeah.
to the class.
Oh, and you know what?
So,
Before anybody says anything, I will put the file in this chat so you can all go look at the notes and, read it and review it. By the way, there's a great book by Sheryl Sandberg. It's called Option B. It's a great story. It's kind of a business book, but it's also when option A goes away, sometimes you got to take option B. So, I mean, we saw that today here with my sister and brother-in-law. I mean, I had to go with option B. I really wanted them to hear this talk. A lot of this was from them and for them. And ironically, think about it, right? How life is. He literally sits down to hear the talk and then he falls down, breaks the glass. My sister, and they're not here. But, hopefully they'll watch this video and they'll get to, but how ironic is that, right? I mean, they made the time to be here and then something happened. So that's how life is, man. It's really like something is always around the corner. It's sometimes great stuff around the corner, right? But sometimes things happen, so we have to make adjustments. And anyway, back to you, Coach.
It reminds me of like when you hear a lot of people say, live today as if it were your last day. I
Yeah.
mean, it's so true. And a lot of what you said earlier also, Rick, I took that in my notes, is about procrastination. Someday is
Yeah.
about not doing it today or even tomorrow. It's just putting it off. And to your point, we're always putting things off. Just tomorrow, or I'll do it later. Or but I'd love that someday. I'd love to hear from our other students, as I like to call you. So go ahead, Davin. Thank you.
Rick, thank you for sharing great content. One of the things I wrote down was we're taught to hustle, not to heal.
Mm-hmm.
That was very powerful. And we're taught where we wear badges of burnout. Yeah, we wear the badge of burnout basically, right? We wear
Yeah.
burnout like a badge, and boy, is that's a lot to chew on. Just those two sentences is a lot to chew on. I think anybody who's stepped into the entrepreneurial space,
Yeah.
I think we have all done that, and it's something to be mindful of, for sure. So appreciate you highlighting that. That's something I'll marinate on for a while.
Thank you, Devin.
Yeah, that's great. I had written that down also, Davin, but badge of burnout equals never turning off, which is exactly that. We're just going. I mean, the Ever Ready Bunny commercial is not even cute at this time, because we're just going and going, but that's how we get the burnout. Thank you, Davin. Nancy?
Yeah, when you talked about the cost of my time and how if I don't value it, nobody else is going to. So I need to make that change immediately. And thank you for all that you shared with us. It was very powerful.
Thank you, Nancy.
I like that you said that you have to make that change immediately. So you need to write that down and do something today. And then I'm going to follow up and hold you accountable. And if you haven't done it, you'll get that gentle kick in the where. Nikki?
Go. Nikki, yes, well, thank you, Rick, for it was so touching, everything you were saying, and very timely, and things I've been thinking about as well on a personal level. One thing, it's more of a comment or something I've noticed, when you said about living now, not someday, and practice being happy now, that a lot of times for myself and for some of the clients I work with, that there's a fear of being happy. Because if I'm too happy or if I feel too good, something bad is going to happen. And we kind of saw an evidence of that today. Not that it was bad what happened, but, I'm going to relax and boom, I fall and break glass and maybe I'll be a little stiff tomorrow. Like that kind of a thing. Yeah. So that's something I've been working on, is to change that unconscious connection of happiness equals danger so that I can actually practice being happy now.
That's pretty sad, though. Really,
Thank you,
when
Nikki.
you think about it, that they're afraid to be. They're always like waiting for the other,
it's pretty
shoe to
common.
drop.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, and that's not living either.
No, it isn't.
No, that's like constant fear.
Yeah,
almost like, and almost feels to me like they don't feel deserving of happiness, which is a whole other class.
Yeah, there's a bunch of layers.
Yeah. Susan, thank you, Nikki.
Thank you, Nikki.
You're welcome.
Susan?
Oh, okay. Yeah, glad I tuned in. Love more. That is so powerful with me in my life. If you start to love things more, it's so much better. And without love, you have nothing, right? So yeah, you got to have that love, because there was many positions I had, out there that I didn't really love. But I did it and I made the money and I sucked it away. But, love is very important. And I'm doing all that now and loving it.
Good. Good stuff. Thank you. Thank you, Sue.
Karen? Coach Karen?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I mean, so powerful, Rick. I'm gonna be thinking about this over and over for a long time. So thank you so much for sharing all of it. I think the phrase that hit me the most was living life on layaway, and that how many people have done that. I know I have. Like, oh, I'll get around to it. I'll get around to it, or I have to do this first before I can have that. That kind of thinking. And so, yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you, Karen.
Appreciate you being here, Karen. Thank you. Yes, Lisa.
So that was really a touching, and hopefully we all walked away with so much of a big message. Yeah, life on layaway, all of it. I know that we cannot truly heal the body without calming that nervous system and taking those resets. And it's super important that I think as business entrepreneurs and all of that, we don't live in that balance. So this is really hopefully a home run hit to put that message out there to everyone. So I just love it. Thank you for giving us the notes, and a reminder to everyone always. We all know, even in the wellness space, we all fall short somehow in some sort of way, shape, or form. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
Appreciate it. Yes, Frank.
Thank you, Rick, for sharing this wonderful presentation. And actually, it makes me reflecting on the fact that I'm now a retired college professor. And the thing is, I realized now for a month is that what I haven't done, and that adds to kind of burnout of things like that, is that I didn't live the seasons of life. It means it's winter right now. We are still in a hurry here, also in the Netherlands. As it is the summertime, being on time, at the job, doing things, instead of more relaxing and live with nature. And I think if I do that, I think it will be a tremendous improvement. And thank you. In a certain way, you reminded me of doing that, Rick, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Welcome, brother. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Frank. We have so much light around us. We're so fortunate.
Yeah.
Yes, Miss Carol.
I just want to say, Rick, I'm, so lucky to live life with you because, so publicly, but I live with you every day and I don't hear all of this wisdom in 25 minutes or whatever it was, like I heard today. So, your retirement brought on some introspection that I really appreciate, and I love your mind and your heart. Can I just share my the thing that slapped me in the forehead?
Sure, please.
Are you training for resilience or for coping? Mind blown.
Thank you, honey.
I appreciate it. Love you.
I love you too. Thank you.
I love you guys too. Okay, the Mutual Admiration Society here. Go ahead, Jim. Thank you, Carol.
Rick, that was beautiful, as you are, and
thank you, Jim.
I'm constantly reminded. I loved and still love going to chapter meetings that you're running, and when we have the breakouts, the last thing you say before we go out to the breakouts is, "Be positive, everyone."
Yeah.
And it's so true. It's so easy to bring our baggage into the room with us, and it's not that hard to not do that and not let your positivity go with you. And I was reminded listening to you of little simple things like having a rubber band on your wrist to do a pattern interrupt when you catch yourself, letting outside influences try to tear you down.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of being conscious of your surroundings and doing the little things that make the big difference. And I appreciate you, and I appreciated hearing this again as a reminder to just enjoy being and enjoy your surroundings and the people that are around you. There's so much love in this room. I just want to say, I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate you too, buddy.
Thank you so much, Jim.
Let
Appreciate
me
that.
just tell a little story because
Please do.
what I
I'm
didn't,
sorry, I didn't want any stories.
no, this is a good one. What I didn't include in there was my foundation with living this type of lifestyle, even though I don't always do it, but I always remember to do it, is when I was 19, after my first year of college, my father died at 53 of a heart attack one day. No warning, he just died. And my GPS, my whole plan for the future, my best friend, my guide was gone. So that was an event. You know, you talk about trauma. I was the youngest of three kids. We were like one person. And so losing him at that time in my life set me on a tailspin. For any of you who've read The Currency of Connection or you know my story, that tailspin, was life changing. But one thing that I did learn, my father always used to say, "You know what we're going to do someday, son?" And when my boys were born, I said, "You know what we're going to do today, boys?" So the difference was someday, and he meant it. He was planning to do something someday, but he was always working because he came from the Depression and he was born in the Bronx with nothing, and his father died when he was young. So for him, the only lens he could see through was provide and protect. When after he died, I said, that's not going to be me. Now I might die tomorrow. I know you don't all want me to, but it could happen because Denise died in December and her family doesn't want her to either, but she's gone. And many of us have lost people. And so seeing the world through the lens of living today as opposed to someday is the most valuable thing any of us can do. And when my father died, he had a tremendous business. He had an auto body shop, which was hugely successful. He built for 37 years. And when he died, he thought, if anything happens to me, this business is gone. And when he died, my brother, who was older, came up from Florida and ran his business and ran it better than him and more successfully than him and more effectively than him and with a different kind of a flair than he had. And so all of the businesses we have will run without us, no matter if we're solopreneurs or not. If any of us die tomorrow, the next day someone could literally sit in our chair, even if we're one employee, they could sit in our chair and they could run our business. They could make a phone call, get a customer, buy. Matter of fact, if I died, maybe more people would buy from Carol than even bought from me because they would feel bad for a while. So they'd say, "Oh my God, poor Carol, we're going to buy more from you." So sometimes when we're gone, our lives become more successful. So shouldn't we enjoy the success while we're here? And on that note, because Carol and I are in the home improvement business, I'll tell you this. Don't wait, and this is a proverb. This is not, don't take this literally, but you could. Don't wait until you're going to sell your house to make your house the home that you want to live in. So, all too often, we get called in and someone says, "I'm listing my home and I want to make it beautiful so I can sell it for more money." And then we go in and we fix it and make it beautiful, and then they sell it and they never lived in the home they wanted to live in. So now let's put this on ourselves. Don't wait until your life is over to live your life the way you should be living it. Don't waste your legacy on, oh, someday someone says, "Oh, that guy was great, man, but he worked too much," or he did. You can do all the things, but make sure some of the things that you're doing are those things we talked about today. Calling a friend, forgiving yourself or someone else, having a real vacation, inventing a new pastrami sandwich. We need one of those. But don't wait to do it. You can work as much as you want, but make sure you do the other things too. If you work, play. If you grind, create. So find a piece to add to it so that you don't end up like my father or Denise and so many people we know who never take time to really live. The Dalai Lama was asked, So what do you think the problem with modern society and modern living is? And this is a paraphrase, but you can all look it up. It's a very famous quote. And he said, well, most modern people are working so much to make money, and then someday they'll give all that money back to get their health back. And because you can't do that, most of them never have even lived one day in their life.
Excellent, excellent,
So true.
absolutely, absolutely wonderful. I just need you all right now before we end. I have two things to do. Rick, if you can take a group picture of us and send it to me, and
Yep.
I will post it.
Okay, let's do
That's
that.
what I was
Everybody
gonna do.
smile
Yeah.
on seven.
I tried to
One.
do one on my own, but somebody was picking their nose.
All right,
So
ready?
okay, go
Again.
ahead.
Ready? On seven. One. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Hey,
And
that's
the other
cheating.
thing is, Rick, I can't thank you enough. I mean, I really, really enjoyed this very, very much. The last thing I would like you to do is that uh, uh, clip on this class that Rick posted in the chat. If you can share that with your community and with on your page, because this is a message that I feel, there's so much negativity going on in the world today that we just have to remind people of the light workers and the positive people that we have that exist today. That message that Rick gave us today, we need to spread that. This needs to be contagious, because when someone hears this, it is it is contagious. You want to share that with other people. Other people are, a lot of people, most people are very quick to share with you the ugliness that's going on in the world now and complaining. And you know what? We don't have time for that. There's enough of that out there. So we need to spread this message a lot
Yeah.
quicker and to a lot more people. Can you promise me? Raise your hand if you'll post this on your social media or with your chapters and with your people, so
Yay.
that you can spread this message as well. Rick, amazing,
Thank you,
absolutely
Coach.
amazing.
Coach,
God bless you.
let's be clear. Are you asking them to post the link to the video once we get it? Or because you said post a link that Rick put in, I put my notes in the
The
chat.
notes. Yeah, the notes,
So I
right?
don't know if you want to post the notes online, right? You want to post the video when we get it?
Which do you think would be the most that people
I
would
wouldn't post a Word document to the world. I would post a video. So when we get the
okay,
video
beautiful.
edited, we'll make
Okay,
sure we give it to everyone on this call. And I have a photo. We'll give you the photo too if you want to use that, and we can make
wonderful.
an example of me.
Flash, yes.
Yes.
I
And
was
yes,
thinking
go
of,
ahead, Nikki.
because we'll probably get access to that photo today. I was thinking of posting listen to me making up words, the photo on my social media and sharing like my biggest takeaway at the
Sure.
top.
Yeah.
Something like
Let me
that.
Do
give you the
that.
photo now, and then you'll have
Perfect.
it in this
There
chat.
you go.
Let
Look
me
at
get
that.
let me go to
beautiful.
the videotape. Thank God I
That's
took Coach
beautiful.
Glow's tech class earlier this year, so I can bring that up.
That like photo crossed with video, Nikki?
I think so. That's what, because I had video in my mind when Nancy's comment about needing to make YouTube videos. I think I put them together.
All right, here we go. I'm going to bring it up. Let's see. Let me crop it.
And let's make sure that we keep David and Joyce in our prayers, and that everything.
We're going to call them as soon as we hang up.
Yeah, you are.
I'm sure she's wondering why we didn't pause the meeting and call her and check in on her.
You owe him a new chair, buddy.
But you know what? The show must go on.
Yes.
That's how it is.
And I appreciate all of you for supporting the Wellness Affinity Group and working on getting our wellness guide for next month and keeping the topics interesting and informative, so that you feel that you walked away with some value. And I think we can all agree that we are walking away today with a lot of value. Correct?
Correct.
So that I know you're still alive here. Sometimes the boxes freeze, and I don't know if you're still with us or.
All right, let me see if I can put this in the chat now. Hang on. I'll give you the photo, and then you're good to go.
Thank you.
Let's see.
I think me and Nancy.
Please,
were the
everyone,
only
tell
ones
me
who
if you
didn't
can
watch.
see that photo and download it.
Yes.
Yep, it's there.
There we go. I see it.
Now, Coach did say something about this being free earlier, but I am going to be sending out invoices to all of you, random invoices. But
I'm sure you
don't
are.
be surprised. I mean, Davin would agree. Guys got to make a buck, right? Yeah. I got to change the cost of access to me. I got to practice what I preach.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. That is beautiful.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, no, thank you, Rick. Thank you, everyone. You know, what more can you say than thank you? You know, unless I start saying it in different language. Muchas gracias for all of you being here. I'm sending hugs to all, virtual hugs, tight. If you put one hand on the opposite shoulder, we can do this exercise. Right hand on left shoulder, left hand on right shoulder, and just squeeze. That's your self hug,
Never
your
tried that.
self love for
Good.
the day. Okay? Mwah. Have a wonderful day.
I needed that.
Me too.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Coach.
this was great.
Blessings. Be
So
well.
Mucho
Have a
hugs.
great
mucho
afternoon,
hugs.
everyone.
Can't wait to see
Okay.
you on February 21st.
Yes, I'll be there. I'm excited.
Yes. Oh,
See
good,
everybody.
good. We'll
Yay.
be there. Excellent, excellent.
Thanks for
All
coming,
right,
folks.
guys.
Have a beautiful
All right,
day.
take care.
Appreciate your
Have a
support.
great day.